अत्युग्र भूरिकर्मणो नास्तिका रौरवाजना ते तिष्ठन्ति तीर्थेषु तीर्थसारस्ततो गतः. In sacred vacationing centers, in power spots, in tirthas, ugra karma, uchalapi, and meat eaters, and Muslims and Christians and Baptists and Kangis, and TMC guys and Sapa and Baspa guys and CPM guys and beggars and utterly materialistic people, Ayyash people and the atheists and the RSS guys must not be allowed to enter. Otherwise, high quality frequency of spiritual vibrations which is inbuilt up there will reduce and get finished. Vaticans and Makkah are very careful to preserve the sanctity of their tirthas. We should learn that. If you allow these unwanted intruders, these Ghuspatiyas, the currents of spiritual energies will stop flowing and people will stop feeling peace and transformation. Then Rajaguna and Tamaguna will take over the sanctity and sacredness and uplifting powerful vibrations. Indrawn energies will disappear away. This way, thousands of tirthas, our tirthas have vanished away and turned into commercial hubs or even tourist centers. There are very ignorant prime ministers of our country who intentionally converting our tirthas into tourist spots. Don't give votes, never give votes to such scoundrel prime ministers, my dear friends. Okay? There was time, our nation's capital, Delhi used to be miraculous, high, holy spot. It was known as Indraprastha those days, sanctified by frequent arrivals of Sri Krishna time and again. It had become most sanctified place. Today, by neglect of Kangis and Modi government, due to their follies, it has turned into a very dirty city, crowded by troublemaker Muslims and Christians and leftists and criminals and beggars and so many haunted places. Although capital of India, but full of dirtiest colonies, almost looking like Bronx. Holy river Yamuna is completely polluted with black water, filled with sewage water flowing as if it's beating on the faces of Britons and Kangis and Sanghis and Modi, who cheated her again and again, assuring we will clean Ganga and Yamuna. So, my dear friends, be careful. In ancient days, it used to be full of rivulets and fountains and groves and green meadows with huge trees of butter and peepal and amla and neem and innumerable herbal trees and plants. It was known as Khandaprastha woodlands, and there was Nigamod Bodhak Tirth, founded by sage Brihaspati, still exists by name Nigam Ghat. Padma Puran Uttarakhand extensively describes these powerful power spots, the tirthas, and procedure how to derive maximum spiritual benefits from these power spots. And Kaushal and Madhuban and the replicas of Haridwar and Pushkar and Prayag and Kashi and Gokarna and Shivakanchi and Kapilasram and Kedar and Prabhas and Bhimkund, all these many power spots were visited by pilgrims arriving from far distances, my dear friends. Then 5,000 years ago, when Kauravas tried to rob the kingdom of Pandavas, Sri Krishna came as peace messenger and settled the issue by getting 5 city-states for the Pandavas. Those 5 city-states were Khandaprastha, now known as Delhi, and they changed the name as Indraprastha, and second was Tilaprastha, now known as Faridabad, third is Gajaprastha, now known as Ghaziabad, fourth is Parnaprastha, now known as Panipat, and fifth is Swarnaprastha, now known as Sonipat. These are 5 city-states composed Indraprastha Empire after Pandava's world conquest in Yajna, which became world's greatest empire those days. It was here such a white house was built, so transparent, where people got illusion, which is water and which is floor, which is wall and which is door. And it was protected by automatic weapons, my dear friends, supersonic weapons. Not smart city, but a brand new Vedic city with full care of environmental rules, as sensitive as Laotian policy, Vedic Vastu Vigyan. Sri Krishna has arrived with his team from Dwarka city, along with great architects and engineers, all of them with the help of Mayadana, all Pandavas and even Devi Draupadi worked hard for many days until a new heavenly city in the Indraprastha, the city of gold and gems and jewels, rose high, shining brilliantly as the most prosperous city of the world. Sri Krishna was completely exhausted, and after months long busy schedule, next early morning, what happened? He took Arjun with him on his chariot, with a charioteer, and drove royal chariot found along the beaches of pearlish transparent water-filled Yamuna river, and visiting many villages on the way, inquiring their welfare, solving their problems. Fresh morning breeze enlivened Krishna and Arjuna. In this long drive they passed many miles. Now it's noon. Horses are tired and thirsty. Arjun ordered charioteer to get back to Yamuna river. Perhaps it was near Jagadhari or Yamuna Nagar, and they saw a nice and cool spot. They plucked lots of flowers and leaves and made a bed, and Sri Krishna rested. Charioteer took horses to the river to drink water and take bath. Arjun walked slowly along the beaches of Yamuna. towards a beautiful Kunja Kutir he envisioned, brightly shimmering, shining with the Brahmi Sri in spiritual splendor. Arjun saw from a distance there is a canopy of trees clad with lots of creepers with the blooming, perfuming, colorful flowers. A fragrance of fire oblation spreading around. A stunningly beautiful yogini is sitting in cross-legged and spine straight and eyes closed, whispering mantra. Her serene face, bright, strong aura is fascinating. Then she slowly opened her large eyes and looked around. Arjuna got a strong desire to meet this yogini and he walked up faster. Her Holiness, this is me, Arjun, the third brother of Pandavas. The ruling government of this entire area. With life-size big smile, the yogini looked at Arjun. Swirling waves of joy in her eyes, she said, as if music resounded, "Wow! Warm welcome to you. Thank you for coming. We have lots of fruits. Please eat and drink milk." As soon as Arjuna came, she asked, "Are you really Arjun?" "Of course I am." "If so," she said, "why are you alone? Where is your friend? Where is that Dwarakian Krishna who is haunting my dreams since so long? In fact, I am neither some yogini nor her holiness. I am the daughter of sun god. I am meditating here because the only surefire way to find an impossible love is to meditate." Yes. Then, in a trembling voice, Arjuna mumbled, "What did you say? Daughter of sun god?" Devi said, "I am guardian angel of Yamuna river." "Yes, of course I am. Just as by wearing $1 million astronaut suit, one can visit other planets. Wearing suit of sea explorers, one can fathom the depths of sea. Our body, our nervous system is built in such a way which is heat-proof, cold-proof, hurt-proof, weapon-proof. So we can survive in all material and celestial planets, and we are able to see their residence which normal people cannot. Regular person will burn alive even if he goes near the solar orb. But Suryalok is a planet crowded with people, and the king is my father, Surya Narayan. Is it clear to you, Arjun? And Arjun said, "If so, could you please tell me about..." And she responded all what Arjun asked. At last she said, "If you are satisfied, could you tell me where is your friend? Where is your Dwarakian friend, that Govinda Dwarkavasin, Krishna Gopi Janapriya. Ever since he left Vrindavan and gone to Dwarka, I am tormenting without him. Now I have been meditating to make him my hubby. Oh, now Arjuna understood. He begged for pardon for all questionings. Just wait, Arjuna said enthusiastically. Just wait, I am going to get him. And lo, Arjuna left as they were running. He reached Sri Krishna and almost shouting, he said, what he said, my dear friend? Oh dear friend Krishna, hurry up fast, just sit on my shoulder, I will carry you. I never knew you are such a great hero for whom that dazzlingly beautiful girl is doing penance to marry you. Oh, how fortunate you are, my dear friend. So fortunate you are. I am proud to be your friend. Sri Krishna said, what are you doing, friend? What? Tell her I cannot marry her because I am already married. And Arjuna said, friend, I am great warrior indeed. But I have no courage to break anybody's heart, especially the heart of that angelic girl. You do that job yourself, your job. You are the one specialist breaking the heart of people who love you madly. Therefore, you do your job. And Kalindi waited breathlessly. Soon she saw that her long-awaited beloved is coming. And Kalindi ran down to greet them with a flower garland. And then she offered obeisances and she asked, Holy Sire, I love you madly, I cannot live without you. Can you marry me? And Krishna said, you are too late, Kalindi, I am already married. Not just one, but 3 of them. Kalindi was shocked. Her face turned pale and sad. Then, bringing some smile on her face, she said, Okay, my lord, don't marry me. But you have large home, big palace, you need maid servants. Could you please take me as your maid servant? I will wash all dresses of yours and your wives and massage your feet. I will eat whatever left over you will offer me and sleep in any small corner of your house. You will provide me whatever. I promise there will be no complaint, no jealousy, my lord, at all. Sorry, madam, Krishna said, we already have all the maids required for our home. Thank you. We are going. Wait, don't go away. Don't go away, my lord. take me to your city. I shall clean the roadside you walk daily. I will not come in the house. Just wash and clean your door from outside. You don't have to pay me a dime. Sorry, madam, Krishna said, we already have all what we need. There is no vacancy. We have no employment exchange in Dwarka. Then Kalindi sighed again and said, Oh Lord mine, wait. I have one more request before I die today, my Lord. Thank you so much for your arrival and just before my death. Oh, how merciful you are. My last request is take me with you. I will not enter your city gate. I will clean your city door from outside and all around the city walls. Whenever you come out of your city, just look at me with a big smile on your countenance. That's all I want. And Sri Krishna was thrilled to hear that. And he took her in his ambrosial embrace and kissed her and said, I will marry you, Kalindi. I will definitely marry you. You are my bride. Let's go to Dwarka, your home city. As they looked at Arjun, he was relaxing from a great anger. He blurted out, Do you know, Krishna, what I was going to do with you? Had you refused the girl for the last time? Krishna said, What you were up to? And Arjun said, Had you said no to Kalindi for her last request, I would have renounced friendship with you and announced that you are big heartbreaker enemy. Your insensitive talking style is no more a match for us, we warriors. Then I would have challenged you for a dual fight. And Sri Krishna laughed wholeheartedly and said, There is going to be a battle between me and you one day, Arjun, but leave it for then, dear. Leave it for future. Now we are friends. Okay. Kalindi, Arjun, let's go. Okay, let's go.